Hello and welcome to this lecture. Today we are going to discuss another important topic which is known as gangrene. If we take a look of this definition, it is defined as a necrosis of tissue associated with superadded putrefaction, most often followed cognitive necrosis due to ischemia. What is superadded putrefaction? It is known as the decay of the organic matter that caused because of the microorganisms such as bacteria that result in the decay of any part of the body, and this decay is a slow process that takes some time uh, to express in the form of gangrene. So if we take a look of definition, we are talking about superadded putrefaction, which means decay of organic matter, most often following coagulative necrosis due to ischemia. This is a picture of the gangrene where you can see that the death of the tissues in parts of the body occur. The key characteristic will be the foul smell, which means the bad smell. Surface and subsurface discolored, and the dark color will be appear, and these all degenerative properties is actually super added putrefaction. So the gangrene is also characterized by the presence of inflammation. The common example of necrotizing inflammation is appendicitis. This is a picture where we see the appendix that is present between the large intestine and small intestine, and gangrenous appendicitis occur in that region. It is a common example of necrotizing inflammation. How we classify gangrene? We classify gangrene on the basis of morphological nature, and we classify them into dry gangrene and wet gangrene. Let's discuss dry gangrene. The common example of dry gangrene is atherosclerosis, Berger disease, Raynaud disease, trauma, and ergot poisoning. Usually the dry gangrene cause Usually the dry gangrene occur in the lower limb of the body. What is atherosclerosis? Atherosclerosis is a deposition of the cholesterol that is responsible to block the arteries. This is the normal human artery, and this is narrowed artery because of the deposition of the cholesterol, calcium, or cellular debris that result in the damage of endothelium cells, and then that leads to ischemia. What is Berger disease? It is a disease where your blood cells become inflamed, swell, or blocked because of the presence of the thrombi, or in simple word, the blood clot. This is, you can see the blood clot in your blood vessels surrounding, and then leads to the Berger disease. This is an example of Raynaud syndrome, where we have the bluish hands on the periphery because of the stress such as cold. So you can see the blue fingers around your periphery, and you commonly observe this thing especially during winters. Then we have ergot poisoning. It is caused because of the presence of the fungus in the food, and if you see uh, this dark character, this is actually infected wheat from ergot uh, because of the presence of the fungus inside, and that is responsible for the gangrene as well. Let's take a look of morphological characteristics of dry gangrene. the three main characteristics will be appear. Number one, it will be the dry. Number two, it will be shrunken. And number three, it will be black, dry black in color. Dry black in color. Why this dark black color appeared because of the dry gangrene? What is the reason behind? The answer is that because of the liberation of hemoglobin from hemolyzed red blood cell, which acted upon hydrogen disulfide produced by bacteria, resulting in the formation of black iron sulfide. So we have to understand that thing that actually the hemoglobin, it contain iron molecule, and that is black in color. If you take a look of this structure, so we know that the hemoglobin contain heme molecule, it contain iron molecule, it also responsible containing oxygen molecule, and also contain the polypeptide chain. So what will happen actually when the red blood cell hemolyzed? It means red blood cell break down. Then what will happen? It will liberate hemoglobin, and actually the hemolysation of red blood cell occur because of the presence of hydrogen disulfide H2S. And this H2S will be produced by the bacteria. Bacteria are responsible to produce hydrogen disulfide, which at the end leads to the hemolysis of the red blood cells that is responsible to produce that hemoglobin. So after this dark color that will be appear in on the limb, what will happen? Either this dark structure will be removed automatically after certain period of time, because we know that it is dry and shrunk. So it will be removed either by naturally, or sometime we have to do surgery or amputation to remove some section that the necrosis occur in that part. So either we have to remove the section, we can call amputation of the limb, or naturally it separate from the body part. What are the microscopic characteristics? As in the beginning I discussed that the inflammation will be occur, so we will found the inflammatory cells. We also found a necrosis. We also found a thrombosed vessel. It means the vessel has been thrombosed. Then we will find the bacterial colonies that is responsible for the gangrene, and that is responsible for producing inflammation that leads to necrosis. And we also see thrombosed vessels. And what is the reason for that thrombosed vessel? Because we know that in thrombosed vessel the arteries will be blocked. So when the arteries will be blocked, then what happened? The blood supply will be stopped, and that leads with the presence of the bacteria. So thrombosed vessels plus bacterial colonies is responsible for necrosis. And after necrosis, what will be happen? The inflammatory cells will be appear. This is another picture of the excised skin showing bacterial colonies of cocci and bacilli, and this structure is also showing you the presence of the bacterial colonies that is responsible to expand the gangrene. These are the clonic inflammatory cells. We must know, we already discussed in the previous lecture that inflammatory cells consist of lymphocytes, macrophages. So when the inflammation occur, we will see the lymphocytes and macrophages inside the structures. Now next is wet gangrene. Wet gangrene usually occur in the moist organs such as the bowel, lung, mouth, cervix or vulva. Diabetic foot is the common example in wet gangrene, which is caused because of the high glucose content in the necrotized tissue, which favors the growth of bacteria. Or the second example is bed sores, which occur in the bedridden patient because of the pressure injuries in the buttock, in the heel, in the sacrum. When we take a look of morphological characteristics and we take a look on gross characteristics, we found there are few characteristics that will be appear. First of all, the structure will be soft. Here you can see. Then dark, caused by cause of the thrombus, means the blockage of arteries. Then it would be swollen, like this area is section. And this commonly occur because of the thrombus formation. The common characteristics of wet gangrene is the presence of coagulative necrosis, the formation of the colonies of the bacteria that leads to produce mild chronic inflammation. And this picture is showing you the wet gangrene of small bowel. And here you can see the formation of the necrosis, colonies in bacteria that expand the inflammation and then causes wet gangrene. How can we compare the dry gangrene and wet gangrene? And the site is important because dry gangrene occur in the limbs, whereas wet gangrene occur in the bowel. The second is mostly the dry gangrene are arterial coagulation, means arterial blockage, whereas wet gangrene could be the venous or arterial both. Macroscopic characteristics, organ is dry and shrunk and black, whereas it is the wet gangrene is more moist, soft and swollen. Then the putrefaction is this is limited because of the blood supply, whereas in wet gangrene it is marked because of the stuffing of the organ with the blood. Then the line of demarcation, there is clear demarcation in dry gangrene. We can cut the section or which section has been affected of the limb, whereas the wet gangrene there is no clear demarcation. In dry gangrene, bacterial will fail to survive, whereas in wet gangrene there are presence of abundant of the bacteria. The last is the gas gangrene. It is known as gas forming gangrene and caused because of the Clostridia, which is a gram-positive anaerobic bacteria. The morphological characteristics are swollen, oedematous, painful, crepitant. Subsequently, the affected tissue become dark black and it is bad smell, foul smell. Microscopically, we will see the muscle fibers undergo coagulative necrosis with liquefaction. Large number of gram-positive bacilli is identified. So in gas gangrene, we will see the liquefaction, whereas in wet gangrene, we will see coagulative necrosis. So that's the main difference between the gas gangrene and the wet gangrene. And the second thing is the causative organism in gas gangrene is gram-positive anaerobic bacteria such as Clostridia. So thank you so much for today's lecture. Hope to see you again in upcoming lectures.